Hi, and welcome to Just Another Monday with Connie. Today's topic is going to be number 6 weighted yarn. And at about in about 15 minutes we'll start getting into the topic. Um so I want to make sure first if everyone is hearing me okay. I know in a couple of lives recently it sounded like I was underwater, but my last live, it seemed like my volume, my microphone was working properly. So please let me know if y'all hear me fine. And anytime on my lives, if y'all notice that I sound funny, please let me know. Because it seems like my microphone every now and then it starts acting up. I'm probably gonna have to replace it. I have a feeling it's going out on me. Where whenever I change the USB port that I plug it in, it seems like it starts working fine again. And the first time it happened, I thought the USB port on the computer went bad. But this time I switched it with my little device to give me Wi-Fi. And I plugged that in where the microphone was plugged in, and it's working fine now. Like, the Wi-Fi worked in that plug, so I don't know. I'm probably going to try to replace it next month, my microphone, and hopefully I don't have any more issues at all with it. Okay, let's see who's here. We have Patricia, Brenda, Kelly, Kathleen, Keith, Nana Michelle, and I'm trying to think of your name. I know it. Oh, Jet One in. What's your first name again? I'm sorry. And I know once you tell me, I'm gonna be like, yep, that's it. Carrie, yep. Yep, that's it. But yeah, how are all of y'all doing and what are y'all working on? And let's see, Patricia, you're welcome for the shout out. And anytime people need a shout out that have channels, all y'all got to do is just let me know and I'll give y'all a shout out. Or if y'all know of channels that need shouted out or new channels, I always love shouting out new channels. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I hope your kitty feels better soon. And I'm sorry he has your cat has heart issues. Let's see. Brenda, you know how I remember Yorny Cat Crochet's name? Crystal's grandma's name is Patricia. And you know how Crystal calls, her viewers Yorny Cats? So I kind of like think along those lines, and that's how I've been able to remember Patricia's name. Let's see. Kelly is working and lurking. Okay, it sounds like y'all can hear me fine. Okay, just wanted to make sure. And Patricia's working on a cardi. And we have Lucy that joined us. How are you doing today? And I don't think I've ever seen you in one of my lives before, so welcome, welcome. How are you and what are you working on? And Carrie says, I'm working on a child hat for a craft fair I'm trying to do with my friend. It's our first one. Ooh, nice. I'd love to see your hat when you're done. And Brenda's recovering from the wedding. So how was the wedding? And Kathleen says, circular baby blanket and blush baby Egyptian cotton. Ooh, I'd love to see that when you're done, Nana Michelle. So, yesterday was an eventful day. And I was actually worried if I would be able to finish preparing for today's live in time. Like I started off, I woke up late yesterday, and then like while I was working on things, I felt distracted a lot. Um, and then all of a sudden, Frank's sitting there telling me how the temperature went up on the air conditioner on its own. And at first I'm like, "You sure you didn't hit the remote or something and not realizing?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I didn't, I did not touch the remote at all." And so I'm figuring, oh, it must be the batteries, or maybe the remote itself went out. So I go to the unit and I start hitting the buttons. None of the buttons worked on the panel. None. The only way you could turn the air conditioner off was to unplug it. So I went ahead and me and Frank both were trying to research, seeing what it could, things that we could do to possibly make it work again. And everything we tried, nothing was working, because one thing was like to reset it, which was basically unplugging it, um, and plugging it back in after a while, cleaning the coil area. So like yesterday, I was hot. I mean, because it was like the AC was showing 86 degrees on low. um, and the thing was that like in the morning, I tend to usually turn the AC to like 70 on low because I tend to get cold in the morning. So the fan speed was on low, and then at 86 degrees, which it went up to. Um, so it was hot, and me and Frank are freaking out. It's like last thing we need is this expense, and from what we think that it had to do with was probably an expensive fix. So, and I live in Louisiana, for those that don't know, and I mean it gets quite humid in the summertime. So then last night I started playing around with it again, and I finally got the buttons to work some on the actual AC. So so I was able to get the fan speed to high, and then I did get the AC temperature full blast, but it went right back up. It felt like it was a ghost, because you're not touching anything, and it just boom right back up. Um, so it was at least cooler at that point. Then this morning, I noticed that, like on our air conditioner, like after you turn it on or adjust the temperature, it lights up, and then after like a minute, the lights will go off on it. That's like, the default how it works. And I noticed that that was off. And I'm like, let me by chance go see if it's still, if I have any luck. Well, guess what? When I turned the temperature back down, it stayed. I was so happy. So it's nice and cool in the house now. But my fear is it gonna start acting up again? Um, but right now it's working right. We wondered maybe if like moisture got in the control panel or something, because we've been getting a lot of rain lately. Like every day it rains, and some days like horde rain. Um, I don't know, but I'm just happy it's currently working, because like where I'm at right now is the hottest part of the house, and I probably would have been sweating if it wouldn't have started working again. All right, let's see. Brenda says, I've got 3 cardigans to finish now that my daughter's wedding is over. Ooh, you make some pretty cardigans, Brenda. And Brenda says the wedding was beautiful and got lots of pictures. Ooh, are you going to post them on your Facebook page? And Patricia says, oh, she's telling Brenda, Your sunflower granny square is awesome. Lucy says, working on some blankets, have about 7 whips, and she's been lurking. Awesome. Patricia says she can't imagine being without the air conditioner. Oh, I think it was the year before last, or it might have been last year when we had one of the hurricanes and we lost power. Oh, that was miserable. We would go in the core to cool off. Let's see. Patricia says get a backup just in case there should be sales soon. Yeah. Now the irony, we do have like a small window unit, and we do have another air conditioner. This was kind of in between powerful. It's not as powerful as the main one we have now. But the unfortunate thing is it requires a certain type of plug. And when we got the air conditioner that's in the window now, we had to change the line and convert it to a 220, and the plug is completely different now. Um so we have nowhere to put, plug it in now. Um Unless we like got the plug changed again. Let's see. Oh, we have Sue that joined us. Hi Sue, how are you doing today? And what are you working on? Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check that out, Brenda. Let's see. All right. And if you want, Brenda, I could show a few pictures if that's okay with you from the wedding. All right. I am going to tell y'all about some fun things you can do in an elevator. And then pretty much after that, we probably will start on today's topic. And it also depends on if Brenda wants me to show the pictures. I'll do that before starting on the topic. Oh, okay. She says I can show them. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up first. Give me a minute. I gotta save them to my computer so I can pull them up. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm getting there. Share screen. All right. Here is the first picture from Brenda's daughter's wedding. And I love those flowers. Those are gorgeous. And the dresses are gorgeous. But I like the bright colors for the flowers. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and here's another one. There's 4 pictures total. So that's the second picture. Doo-doo-doo. Oops. Wait a minute. I may have showed the same one. Did I? That looks like the same picture. Hold up a minute. Sorry. It looks like it pulled up the same stuff. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, it was showing the same one. Let me pull up the pictures differently. Let's see. Mhm. Okay, I should have it now. But it looks like one of the pictures didn't save. Okay. Okay, here's the second picture. I like how, like, they're dressed on the casual side. But yeah, that's the second picture. Okay. Where is the button? Yeah, pictures seem to take longer to pull up. Okay, here's the other one. And I'm going to see if I can find that fourth picture. Let's see, it showed that. Okay, I think this is the one that didn't show. Okay. Okay. Let me pull up that last picture. Oh, sorry, this is this isn't going that smooth for. Let's see. Did it- Okay. This should be, I think this is it. Okay. Okay. That is the last one. And those the bridesmaid dresses are pretty too. All right. So that is Brenda's daughter's wedding pictures. And let's see, we have Cuppy that joined us and Lori. And how are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? Okay. Like I said, I'm going to tell these little kind of jokey type thing and then we'll get started on the topic. These are fun things to do in an elevator. And for the most part, I don't actually recommend doing any of these things because some could be, inconsiderate. I mean, I don't think any of these really would get you into any type of trouble, but it's funny to hear it. Okay, the first one, offer name tags to everyone getting on the elevator and wear yours upside down. Then, second, when arriving at your floor, grunt, strain to yank the doors open, then act embarrassed when they open by themselves. Next, greet everyone on the elevator with a warm handshake and ask them to call you Admiral. The next one is meow occasionally. And that's something I would probably actually do. Next is start a sing along. Everybody sing along. Next one, I think this was cute. Listen to the elevator walls with a stethoscope. Another thing you could do is bring a chair along. Next is ask if you can push the buttons for other people, but push the wrong ones. That would get people mad. Another thing is hold the doors open and say you're waiting for a friend. After a while, let the doors close and say, "Hi, Greg. How's your day been?" Like you have an imaginary friend. And the last one, I think this is cute. Move your desk into the elevator, and whenever someone gets on, ask if they have an appointment. So I hope y'all enjoy the fun things to do on the elevator. All right. So today's topic is number 6 weighted yarn. And this is super bulky yarn. It's also referred to as super bulky or roving. The recommended crochet hook size when using it is between 9 and 15 millimeters. The recommended knitting needle size is 8 to 12.75 millimeters. And your gauge with crochet, if you're doing single crochet stitches to 4 inches of it, is 7 to 9 stitches. And your knit gauge in stockinette stitch, if you're doing 4 inches, is 7 to 11 stitches. Oh, I see we have Laura Lee that joined us. Hi, Laura Lee. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And number 6 weighted yarn, it works up very quickly. It's a very thick yarn. Let's see. Let me show y'all. See how thick? And I don't have that much number 6 weighted yarn. I'm not really a fan of the higher weighted yarns, but that is what I have. And one thing I am curious about, have y'all made anything with number 6 weighted yarn? If so, what have y'all made with it? See, that's another one. Yeah, I'm curious. What have y'all made with it? I know, like a lot of people have told me they've never made anything with number 6 weighted yarn. That it tends to hurt their hands. Um, so do you find it hurts your hands using it? All right. So I am going to go ahead and show the little video of everyone that submitted pictures of makes that they use using number 6 weighted yarn. And the video's a few seconds over 5 minutes. I'm actually shocked at how many pictures I got, because initially I didn't think I would get many pictures for number 6 weighted yarn. And if I would have done the live last week, at that point I only had a couple of pictures. But okay, let me put that video on. So everyone did such a fabulous job with the makes in their pictures. You know, and that gives y'all ideas of things that y'all can make with number six weighted yarn. But yeah, let's give them all a round of applause. All right, let's see. We have Mitch that joined us. Hi, Mitch. How are you today? And what are you working on? Oh, she's working on her Miss May shawl for her daughter. All right. Let's see. Patricia's making the Lenny Gravity crochet. I'm sorry, knit along super scarf with my fairy treasures. Is that using number six weighted yarn? And let's see. Patricia says she's a four weight girl herself. Yeah, I typically use four the most. I also love number one weighted yarn with knitting. Because I love the detail and how number one looks like with knitting shawls, knitting socks. Let's see. Lori saying number six weighted yarn makes great pet beds. Yeah, actually Grace had one of her pictures was of a pet bed. Now I think the pet beds are cute and I would make one for my cats, but knowing them they wouldn't touch it because cats are finicky like that. You go spend all this money on like beds for them or those little like stand things and they won't touch it. But you give them a box, they love that box. Let's see, Lori says, I made my schnauzer a bed out of the Burnett blanket. Ooh. Laura Lee says, I am making a baby blanket with a number six yarn. It is making my hands hurt. So I do a few rows in the morning and a few at night. In between, I am making a baby blanket with number three weight. Yeah, a lot of people mentioned to me how number six weighted yarn hurts the hands. Let's see. Patricia's wanting to make a cat bed for her cat Yoda. And let's see. Lori says no number six does the opposite to my hand because I usually use fingering weight on the stuff. Yeah, no, like especially when I first used fingering weight, oh, I got hand cramps. Laura Lee saying Frank is such a good sport. Yeah, he models a lot of my stuff. And Lori saying Bago Day has great patterns for pet beds. And that makes me think, because I know like some of y'all don't know how to read patterns. And I've always done written patterns on my lives. And I am wondering, maybe I could do like kind of like a screenshot of video tutorials to show what it looks like and then put the links in the description box. Because I can't really like on a live I can't really put the video itself up. But I'm thinking that might work. I don't know how difficult it'll be to do all that, but I may play around with that on on one of my future lives to see if I can get it to work. Laura Lee says, well, there was a lot of six weight yarn makes. I was shocked how many pictures I got. But yeah, I think I had around 55 pictures. Let's see. Okay, and Patricia's saying that it was six weighted yarn and it's Kravitz. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Patricia wishes she could knit socks. Oh, Brenda's having internet issues. Uh-huh. Like Patricia says, her cat has a box. They love their boxes. And we have Gail that joined us. How are you today, Gail? And what are you working on? All right. So yeah, if anybody has any questions at any time during the live about number six weighted yarn, feel free to ask. Those that have joined in later, let us know about things that you've made with number six weighted yarn, or if you like number six weighted yarn or tried it, that type of thing. Also, if y'all have any tips or helpful information, you know, let us know. Either in the chat, let us know, or those watching replay, let us know in the comments. Let's see. We have Heather that joined us. How are you doing today, and what are you working on? Oh, and us this Sunday, I will be going live over on Heather's channel, Heather's Country Crochet, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Which I'm gonna announce it later on videos too. But yeah, come join us on that live Sunday if y'all can. Okay, let's see. Patricia says 6 isn't my favorite. I will probably not use it again. I've, like I said, I've made very few things. What I've made, I shared in the video. So it's like 3 things I've made with number 6. All right. So, number 6 weighted yarn, it's typically easier to see the stitches. It's ideal for blankets, afghans, and cozy garments such as scarves, cowls, knit sweaters, and also hats. And let's see. Okay, I asked y'all that already. Yeah. Okay, I asked y'all those questions. So yeah, that pretty much covers the basic information. And I'm fixing to start sharing patterns with y'all. But I do want to let y'all know next Monday, the topic's going to be number 7 weighted yarn. So if y'all have ever made anything with number 7 weighted yarn, which I kind of don't think I'm going to get many pictures for number 7. But yeah, if y'all have, send y'all pictures to me so I can include them in next week's live. But like I know I've never done anything with number 7, and the only yarn that I have with that's number 7 is more of a novelty yarn. But yeah, that's gonna be the topic next Monday. And then after that, I think I'm gonna do 2 fall lives talking about fall makes. Then we're gonna kind of flip flop between yarn fibers, and then I'll be doing other holiday videos, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and some of those, like Christmas, I may do 3 lives or 4 lives talking about Christmas stuff, because it's like I've already started looking at holiday patterns, and I'm just like, ooh, I'm gonna have to show y'all this, and this. But yeah, so that's the plans with upcoming Monday lives. And let's see. Lori's in the process of making a cover for her office chair with 6-way and a split blanket. Ooh, nice. Heather says, I have 3 or 4 blankets going with the Karen anniversary cakes. It's a 6-weight yarn. Ooh. Laura Lee says, not fond of knitting a 6-weight, but Bag O' Day has that really cute big bag I want to try. And Brenda says she hasn't used 7-weight. I don't have any. Yeah, and really a part of me, I had thought about combining number 6 weighted and number 7 weighted, because I did kind of fear like how much for patterns I would find, how many pictures and that type of thing, which I almost did, which, like I said, I don't know how next week's live is going to go because I may not have as much to share. I'm hoping I do. I haven't started preparing for it at all yet, so I don't know. But yeah, all right. So let's start sharing some patterns. And all the links for the patterns I'm sharing today are in the description box of today's live. We're going to start with some knitted shawl patterns. And these are free patterns. And some of the patterns I'm sharing today, some are free, some are paid for. And I'm going to be showing knit patterns and crochet patterns. And this is called Ginger Basket Shawlette by Williams Crafts. And one thing I want to point out to y'all, because I find a lot of the patterns I'm sharing today have it like this, where it says this pattern is available for $1.99. And then you'll see it says buy it now. That's where you go if you want the paid for pattern, which basically means you don't have the ads. Or it says visit pattern website. A free version is also available. To get the free version, you need to click on visit pattern website. And basically, you're going to have ads on the pattern. But I know this is something that confused me at first with Ravelry, because it would come up like whenever I would search free patterns, it would come up, and even when it says a free version is also available, but I'm like, I don't see the free version. I only see buy it now. And then I finally figured out the visit pattern website is where you need to go to for the free pattern. All right, so let's look at this beautiful pattern. I love the texture. I think it's gorgeous. And here it is in a mostly red. And here it is in a pinkish color. I think this is my favorite color out of the pictures that they show. And here it is back to the goldish color. But isn't that textured stitching beautiful? And another thing I want to point out too, because like some patterns don't always have much for pictures, or you may just want to see some other ideas for types of yarn to use or color combinations. If you go kind of to the right, not like the first line, but like the second line, you'll see tabs that says details, yarn ideas, and projects. And with at projects, they'll usually have a number behind it. Now some don't have pictures, so there won't be a number. But if you click on that, you'll see pictures that people submitted. Where this is the only one that is different yarn. But some have a bunch, some don't have that many, and some have none. But that's someplace I tend to like to go to get ideas of what type of yarn I want to use on projects. Let's see. I'm looking in the comments. Okay, yeah, I read Laura Lee's. Patricia saying maybe you can find some chunky hat patterns for 7 weight. I probably will find some, because normally what I do is I search it by the weight to pull up patterns. So I'm sure I'm going to find some stuff, but I don't know just how much. And Laura Lee says, I don't think I have seen a 7 weight. They do have 7 weight. But like I said, I've never messed with it. And even Patricia says she hasn't either. But hey, when next week y'all may learn some stuff. Y'all may decide to try out number 7 weighted yarn. Let's see, Zola's here. How are you doing today and what are you working on? And Zola says, I'm so glad you examples that about Ravelry. Yeah, I try to periodically mention certain things when it comes to Ravelry that not everyone is always aware of. And I love sharing patterns with y'all. I go down that pattern rabbit hole. Laura Lee saying she likes that shawl in pink. Okay, Heather. Right now I'm doing free knitted patterns. Usually most patterns I share on my Monday lives, I usually, like say I share like shawls. I'll go from knitted free shawl patterns, paid for shawl patterns, um, free crochet patterns, and then paid for crochet patterns. Now today is kind of a little like not as even because I try to get a close to the same amount for each of those categories. But I did, I find with number six weighted yarn, there's not as many patterns as there are like with other weighted yarns, and I like to pick patterns that speak to me. Show everybody this. So so like today, like like there may not be patterns for every category on today's live. Um but and before like whenever I get to the next category, I'll tell you like this is paid for patterns or if it's knit or crochet. So I do say that. And another thing too, all these links are in the description box of today's video, and I have it broken down if it's crochet, knit, or free or paid for. So hopefully that makes everything easier for y'all. Let's see. Patricia says, I love shawls. I have a couple 4-weight cakes that I'm going to make some shawls out of. I love cake yarn. Gorgeous. We also have Ray that joined us. Hi Ray, how are you? And what are you working on? And Lori says they might not have it here in Mississippi because it's so hot here. Yeah, we're in neighboring states. um, See, like the number 7 weighted yarn that I got. Cindy with Pups and Crochet sent that to me. Um, I haven't gotten to use it yet, but that's like the only one. But I've never really gone looking for it either, so I don't know what we really have. Well, the only place to buy yarn in my town is Walmart. But but speaking of Cindy, Cindy with Pups and Crochet, I don't know if some of y'all know this or not. She did a video yesterday talking about it. So, she put this information out there already. So, it's safe for me to talk about it. Um, Unfortunately, Cindy and her husband Robert have some bad news. And please keep them both in y'all prayers. Um, Her husband Robert, he had like these things in his neck. Um, and then like he also has it in his lungs too. He went to the doctor and they think it looks like cancer. They think most likely it's cancer. He's going to be going in for tests in the next couple of weeks to find out for sure. And I sure hope he don't have cancer. And if it is cancer, hopefully, it's early on where, it can, be treated properly and he can overcome it. But yeah, please keep them both in your prayers. Because I know like Cindy's stressed out about it. And, news like that is scary. So yeah, please keep them in your prayers. Okay, and Laura Lee says, actually, I stopped to finish this twiddle muff for Yorny Sister's mom. Nice. We have Charity that joined us. How are you? And what are you working on? Okay, Patricia says, I'm in Indiana and it does get cold in the winter, but I haven't seen it yet. Doesn't mean that they don't though. Yeah, because I do think a lot of times, a lot of us don't really gravitate towards the higher weighted yarns. So it's not like you're looking for it. And let's see, everyone's saying hello to everybody. And Zola says, I've used your links. They are very easy to access. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. And and I really hope everyone enjoys the patterns that I share. I know I love looking at patterns and the feedback I've gotten, sounds like everyone seems to be liking the pattern sharing. Oops, Frank had the dropsies. Heather says, I just started learning to knit last week. Ooh, awesome. So how's it coming along? Have you gotten the knit and purl stitch down? Oh yeah, Charity, I'm glad you're feeling better now. And Laura Lee says she's started over again with knitting. It's been 30 years since she's knitted. Ray's sleepy. She's working on a nap. Yeah, I have days like that too. And Zola says, I'm new to knitting too. It's a learning curve. Um, it does take a little while to get comfortable with, holding the needles, and like I find purl stitch is more awkward. But like those of y'all learning knitting or even crochet, if y'all have questions or anything, y'all can ask me. I'll do what I can to help y'all out. Now when it comes to crochet, there's still things that I don't know. There's a lot of stitches I haven't gotten to doing yet. But if I can't really answer your question, I can always refer you to like a tutorial or something online to help y'all out. Let's see. Heather says it's a struggle for me with the increases and decreases, but I am pretty good with the just straight knitting part. Um, like when it comes to the increases, you're usually either doing a knit front and back, and I find that's used more. Um, but you also have the make one left and make one right. And I do want to do a tutorial in the next couple of weeks on the make ones. Then with decreases, it's always knit two together. But it does kind of take more concentration, like when because you have to look at the pattern more, than you do if it's just straight knitting and purl stitches. Like basically stockinette or border stitch. Where it's continuous. It's not like you're going back and forth on the same row with knit and purls. Okay, let's see. Yes. And Charity says, glad to know that I'm not the only one who has just started to learn how to knit. And the same thing, if you have questions, Charity, feel free to ask me. And let me know how your journey's going. Yeah, Laura Lee, send me a picture. Brenda loves seeing the patterns. Patricia says, I've known how to knit for a while, but I only knit occasionally. Laura Lee says, I'm getting good at yarn overs. Yeah, yarn overs really isn't difficult. It's very, it's similar to like, crochet with how you got to yarn over when you do the stitches. All right, Lori, I hope you have a good day. Zola says, I love looking at patterns. I struggle sometimes with reading the patterns, but I continue to try to learn. Now, one thing I do want to try to start doing, I got to play around with this. So I'm not making any promises, but I think I may be able to do it where I take a screenshot of video tutorials where I can show what the pattern looks like. And then I can put the links for the videos in the description box. So I may try to, well, it probably won't really work for, next week's because the video tutorials aren't as good at making it obvious when you're searching what weight of yarn you're using. Um, but like whenever I start getting into like the fall makes, I'll probably try to see if I can do that for some fall video tutorials. Let's see. Cindy's here. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And Patricia says, I'm not good with reading the patterns, but I like to look at the pictures of the products. And sometimes that's another thing too. Some people, even though they don't know how to read patterns, they still like seeing the project. And even sometimes, even people that don't crochet and knit, sometimes they still like looking at like what other people make and stuff too. Let's see. Bonnie. Do we have someone? Did I miss greeting someone? I see someone put Bonnie. Greeting a Bonnie, but I'm not seeing. Huh. So there is a Bonnie here. Hello, and how are you? And what are you working on? Let's see. Ray says, okay, the glasses are coming off, so we'll leave you running, but away from phone. I'll try to keep the snoring down. Have a good nap, and I hope you have a good day. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Laura Lee says, I love the patterns. I get frustrated looking in Ravelry. And sometimes it can be frustrating with Ravelry. But I do love like the filter section because it does make it easier looking for certain things. Or a lot of times, like, say I'm looking for pumpkin patterns. I just type in pumpkins, pumpkin, or like pumpkin hat. Um, which that tends to help narrow things down. But I know there are times like if you just type like shawls, you get like so many, and it sometimes takes a while to get to the style you're looking for. All right, Patricia, I hope you have a good day. Yeah, I've kind of gotten off topic more today. um, let's see. Zola says she would appreciate videos like that. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make it happen. But I've never done it before, so there may be a learning curve. But I think basically like a screenshot, and I might have to crop it to get the picture should work. Let's see. Cindy says, just getting around today watching YouTube channels. Oh, Melanie joined us. Hi, Melanie. How are y'all doing? How are you doing? And what are you currently working on? And those of us that recently joined us, let me know if y'all have ever made anything with number 6 weighted yarn, and if y'all have, what have y'all made? Um, do you like working with number 6 weighted yarn? Do you get hand cramps with it? Let's see. Charity says, I'm working on a shawl for a friend. It's my own pattern. When the live is over, I am planning on working the last part of spring's shawl. Ooh, nice. And Laura Lee says, I am hand sewing trinkets on the muff. Cool. All right. Let me get back to showing the patterns. I, I may end up going over today since I've kind of gotten off subject. But we'll see what happens. All right, let me put share again. Okay, this is the Chunky Cable Wrap by Cora Bow. And this is a free knitted pattern. And look at how pretty. And y'all know I love me some cables. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of number 6 weighted yarn, I do think this shawl is beautiful. I I love the cables. And that's one of my favorite things with knitting. Um I love the look of cables. Let's see. Here it is in some different colors of yarn. In a blue. And here it is in a red. See, like I said, like here I'm going into the projects tab because they only showed like one color. And here's a gray. It kind of gives you an idea, you know, like what colors seem to look better with a pattern. But yeah. Okay. And this one's going to be the last free knit pattern. Okay, this is the Lace and Cables Capelet by Nora Goffkin. And again, I love the texture on this one. How it has the cables, it has a little lace work here, and I like the collar. See, like for instance, like okay, this color here, I find you can't really see the details. See, that's what I mean sometimes by like what colors look better with a pattern. But sometimes I do find like with like stuff like cables or lace work, a lot of times it does tend to look better in light colors because I find sometimes a dark color don't really bring out the stitches. You see here this one is in white and she has hers a little different. And let's see. Let's go with this one. See, even this one, it's kind of hard to see. Here it is kind of a little variegated. Ooh, pink. But that gives you some ideas of what it looks like, with other yarn. Okay. So now we're going to get into the paid for patterns, shawl patterns that are knitted. Okay, let me get these pulled up. I wish there was a faster way to go from pattern to pattern. I mean, there may be, and I just don't know about it. But it's like you got to bring up each one, and it can kind of be a little time consuming. Okay, this one is, and I find pictures are worse. Let's see. This one is called Misty Mornings Celtic Not Cow by Tessa D. And I love the look of this. I think the stitching is beautiful. And I love like how it connects like it does with like the kind of cabling. And let's see. I want to see this in some other colors. Here it is. Well, this one they use kind of a little different shades in blue on it. And here it is in white. Granted, that's not the best picture. Let's see. Ooh, look at this. And here it is in pink. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a knit woven scarf. Hold up, is that the one I just showed? Let's see. Give me just a second. Okay, actually it is different. Okay. It's just the same designer. That's what got me confused. Sorry about that. Okay, this is Knit Woven Scarf by Tessa D. Which I am curious about Tessa D's other patterns. But isn't this gorgeous? I like how, how this one connects too. And then this one, she puts it like where it's kind of like a hood. And let's see what other colors they have. Ooh. Pretty, pretty. And let's see. Ooh, here it is in a green. And here's a blue one. All right. And the next one is called Woodland Hoodlet Pattern by Tiny Owl Knits. And I love the texture on this. And I love how it has the hood. And I think it's kind of cool how they have the what you call that? Tassel. Sorry. How it has the tassel at the end of the hood. But yeah, I think this one's cool. And another thing too, and like sometimes with patterns, even though like it might be like be beyond your level of crochet or knitting, but like especially like those of us that knit and crochet, it's like we admire and appreciate you know seeing beautiful makes. And a lot of times, like I know for me, I used it to motivate myself to learn how to do these things. Um, because I'm always like, ooh, I want to make that. And I use that as motivation. All right, let's see if we can see a few other colors. Ooh, I like that. And the thing I find is for the most part, if you like a pattern, the only way you're gonna, is learn to do it yourself. unless you're lucky and you know someone that can make something for you. Let's see. Well, here it is in green. All right, let's see. Let me look over the comments. Melanie saying we got the grandson. I'm finishing an egg apron for my daughter-in-law, and peaches and cream, lavender meadows. Ooh, nice. Send a picture when you finish. Yes, Charity. Yes, share it, share it. Because I love seeing what y'all make, and that's a lot of reason why I love doing the finished projects videos, and I love being able to like share what y'all make with others. And let's see. Zola says, so true. Crocheting doesn't have the cable look. That's why I continue to practice my knitting. Now, there are cables in crochet, but I personally think cables look better in knitting. Um, but I mean, I still like them in crochet, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I feel like certain things with knitting kind of has a classy, elegant look. And let's see. It looks like y'all are enjoying the patterns. And Laura Lee says, when people say that what they are making, I always want to see it. And the funny thing is, there's some level I wish, like on lives and stuff, that like y'all could just share y'all pictures in the chat. But in the same aspect, that could be a dangerous slope because if pictures can be shared, you might get some inappropriate pictures, especially from trolls and spammers and stuff like that. So you know there's an aspect that it protects us, but I would love to see y'all submit pictures, in the live if that was possible. Let's see, we have Jody and Julia that joined us. How are y'all, and what are y'all working on? Um, Let us know if you've ever made anything with number 6 weighted yarn, and if you have, what have you made? Do you like number 6 weighted yarn? Because I know a lot of people say they don't like number 6 weighted yarn. And let's see, Laura Lee says, I think cables and crochet is more about skipping some stitches than going back and crocheting them. I haven't tried it yet though. Too many whips. Yeah, and really it's basically the same concept in knitting, because you skip stitches that you put on a cable, then you knit the needles next on your needle, then you go back to the stitches on the cable. So you just basically working them out of order. But like one thing too with knitted cables, sometimes you put the cable in the front of your work, and sometimes you put it in the back. Let's see. Jody says more baby sweaters. Ooh, awesome! I'd love to see some of your baby sweaters. And let's see. Brenda says Bonnie Bay Crochet has crochet tutorials on cables. She has beautiful patterns. Yeah, I love a lot of her tutorials and stuff. Julia says, I have never used that size yarn. I'm working on the knit stitch dish rags. Awesome. Yes, send some pictures of them. Y'all know me, I love the pictures. All right. So now we're getting into the paid for shawl patterns that are crochet. And unfortunately, none of the free crochet patterns really spoke to me. I felt like it was like the same old thing. Because I like to kind of like find patterns that a lot of times they have something unique about them. Where a lot of times I try to aim for that, but like I said, this live it was harder to find as many patterns as usual. Let's see. This one is Vibrant Warmth Wrap by Fabulous Crochet. And I love this one. I love how, like, the way that she has it connected and the button touch. I love buttons. All right. I think this is, yeah, that was the only picture. But that's an example where there's no picture shared. Um, let's see. This one is Shell Ruffled Shawl by Brandy Nags. And I think that's cute. And it looks like it would work up pretty quickly. And here it is in purple. Oops, wrong. I went to the wrong thing. Sorry. All right. Next, we're going to start getting into amigurumi patterns. Okay, hold on. I saw a question in the chat. Laura Lee, I'm trying to remember who it was. I'm trying to remember who was asking about vintage Victorian. It may have been Joni. Okay, let's see. Zola's asking, does Ravelry change every day or is it weekly? Um, every day they have new patterns that get uploaded. It's basically like whenever someone designs a pattern, they'll upload it to Ravelry, and once they upload it, that pattern becomes available. Um, I mean, some days they have more new patterns than others, but this says yay to the amigurumis. And Zola says, because I was looking for a cardigan and I couldn't find it any longer. Now, sometimes, designers may take a pattern down, or maybe there was something wrong with how she, uploaded the pattern that maybe Ravelry had an issue with, or him. um, but I don't know. What I usually do when I find a pattern I like, I bookmark it. Let me pull up Ravelry and try to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Okay, this is your home page, Ravelry.com. And if you look basically like that first line, um, you'll see where it says my notebook on the right side. And if you're using different devices, it may appear differently. I'm on a desktop computer. Um, and then after that it says pro, and then there's my picture. So you go to my notebook and you go to library. And you see, and these are all patterns that I've saved on my Ravelry right here. So, and I'm going to show you how to save a pattern. Let me pull up my pattern tab. There it is. Okay, for instance, this is a pattern I'm about to share with y'all. Okay. So say I wanted to save this pattern, I would go to my notebook. Hold up, I'm sorry, I'm messing up. I'm sorry. Okay, the way you save it to is you go to add to library right here. It's on the right side of my screen, but it's a little further down. Like you'll see like forum posts with the number, and then you'll see like right under that part, you'll see some things that says save and favorites, cast on project, share this, add to queue, and then there's one that says add to library. You click on add to library, and you see now it's added to my library. Now sometimes like you may have a couple of different things that come up on a pattern where they may have maybe like a book or something. Then you got to select which one you want. But if it's just one thing that comes up like this, it automatically goes to where it needs to. Hopefully I'm making sense. And you see. And now I'm going to show you how it shows up now. Yeah, I'm teaching y'all how to use Ravelry. All right, so let me go back. My notebook, then library. And you see now that shows up. So now that pattern's saved. So when you want to go back, it's easy to find the pattern again. Okay. Brenda's saying yip yips. And actually, well, right now I'm going to be sharing the knit pattern for the yip yips, but I'll also be sharing later in the live the crochet. So there's a knit version and a crochet. And in the video I showed earlier in the live, Brenda had done the crochet one, and her picture was in that video. All right, back to this one. Okay, this is the Yip Yips. This is the knit version by Carissa Browning. And this is a free pattern. And aren't they cute? I think that they're so precious. And I was like, with Brenda sharing her her picture of her makeup one, I was like, oh, I stumbled across the pattern. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to share that pattern. Hi, Kitty. All right. So now I'm going to get into the free amigurumi patterns that are crochet. All right. I think this one's cute. This is a flip flop monkey by Darling Maple Designs. And I love monkeys, and I especially love sock monkeys. But isn't that precious? I'm like, too cute. Okay. So that's the first one. All right. This is a sunflower amigurumi fidget toy by Andrea Cretu, something like that. And look at how pretty. I think sunflowers are gorgeous. They're like my favorite flower. All right, so that's the sunflower one. All right. And y'all know I love me some gnomes. And I think I may have shared this pattern before on a live, or it may have been the Southern Crocheters live. This is called Lord Sleepy Time Gnome with Moon and Star Pillows by Jen Hayes. And that's just too cute. Like I said, I find gnomes are adorable. And I want to make some seasonal gnomes. All right. And now we're going to get to the crochet version of the Yip Yips. And it's by Carissa Browning, which for the most part they look almost the same. Except it's a crochet stitch instead of a knit stitch. But I think they're too cute. All right. Okay. Now we're going to get to the paid for crochet amigurumi patterns. And I love this one. And y'all know I love me some cats. This is a plush cat in dress by Oksana Maximova. But isn't that precious? I think it's just too cute. Makes me wonder if Allie would growl and hiss at it. But I think that's too precious. All right. And the next amigurumi pattern, and I think Brenda's going to like this one. It's called Funny Cow by Elena Tedova. But isn't that so cute? And I love cows. I've always tended to decorate my kitchen with cows. And it's just like so cute. Okay. Let's see what everyone's saying. Oh, we have Lisa that joined us. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And let us know if you've ever used number 6 weighted yarn. And if you have, what have you made with it? Do you like number 6 weighted yarn? Oh, let's see. Laura Lee says she made the Yip Yip. It was fun. I made it a little longer and used it to put store bags in. Used a hair tie on the bottom to store, so it left a hole to pull them out. Zola saying, I learned something new. Yeah, and that's one thing, because a lot of times you do learn new things. And like now my Monday lives, I get more educational on. But I mean, I've heard a lot of people say they learned something, which I'm like, yes. And even on like my Thursday and Saturday lives, people still learn things. But those lives, I try to keep my lives now more yarny talk. So you kind of never know what we're gonna talk about. And then sometimes we get into random chit chat. But yeah, and I mean, and even I've learned things from y'all. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Let's see. Lisa says, I was able to use Wayback Machine to find a pattern that was shown on Ravelry, but when you clicked on it, it wasn't there. You might try that. Yeah, and sometimes, I have seen patterns get removed. I don't know why. Because I know there was this headband pattern, I've gotten asked for the pattern quite a few times, and the pattern's no longer there, and it's just like, and I'm so glad that I made it before they took it down. All right, looks like y'all loving some of the patterns. Zola wants to make the yip yap for her grocery bags, and she's decided on making one. And one thing I kind of wonder if you could do too, um, maybe make the bags and like store like maybe like onions or something in it, like hook it to your kitchen wall. Now the only thing I do wonder about is the weight of putting stuff in them. If it would hold that type of weight, or maybe like bananas or apples or something. Let's see. Oh, Cindy is fine to lurk. A lot of people lurk. And that's like some people like, sorry I'm late, and it's like, you can join in my live at any time. You know, you don't have to be here from the beginning. If you got to leave before it ends, it's all cool. Let's see. Zola says she's never used a number 6 yarn. Yeah, like Zola says, we love lurkers. um, Lisa says, I am new to knitting, so I don't have much experience with size 6 weighted yarn, but I am still learning. I am working on a table runner as a Christmas gift. Ooh, nice. I would love to see it when you're finished with it. Um, and if you ever have questions to do with knitting and even crochet, feel free to ask, and I'll do what I can to help. And let's see. And Laura Lee's going to go mop while listening. And that's because a lot of times, like whenever I'm watching a lot of times I'm more listening. Because, I'll be multitasking where sometimes I'm replying to emails or my YouTube comments or preparing for a live or something. So, you know, I don't always, I'm not always chatty when I put on a live. Zola says yes, multitasking. And what's funny, like my Monday lives, um, whenever I do the pictures, where I put like y'all names on it and put a background to them and all. Well, since I've started doing the animation on them, it takes longer to save. So usually what I'll do is I'll work on a picture, then I'll go either to my email or my YouTube comment, reply to one of those, and then go back to the pictures. All right, so let's get on to the rest of the patterns. Okay, now we're going to get into free beanie patterns, and these are all knitted that I'm going to be showing right now. Let's see. This one is Sea Urchin by Robin Selly. And again, textured stitches, cables. I tend to share a lot of cabled patterns. And I love this like teal color. I think it's beautiful. All right, so that is that one. And this is a braid and ribbed cabled hat by Serena Carlson. And look at how pretty. Like I said, I love cables. And one thing that I want to point out to some of y'all that are new to knitting, um, if you see the bottom, the brim of the hat, that is what you call a rib stitching. Um, It looks like they did knit one, purl one all the way around. But sometimes you'll see it like knit two, purl one, or knit two, purl two. But I wanted to point out what a rib stitch is to y'all. And like for instance, like when you see stockinette is, well, if you're knitting flat, stockinette is where you do knits on the front side, and then the back side would be purl stitches. But if you're knitting in the round, which is where you use the circular knitting needles and it connects, like in a beanie, for instance, um, it's different because with stockinette stitch in the round, you're just continuously doing knit stitches on both sides, the front and the back row. Um, and with hats, you can also knit them in the round, which is my preferred method because you don't have to sew up the seam on the side, or you can knit them flat and have to sew the seam. And then garter stitch, that's when you're knitting flat and you do knit stitches on both the front and the back. But the thing is that like I don't think I've ever seen the garter stitch being done in the round. At least I haven't done it. Um, but yeah, that's just a little background when it comes to some of the stitching. Okay, let's see what other colors. Ooh, here's a pink one. And let's see. Here's like an off-white. Let's. All right. So now to the next pattern. This is basically a basic style beanie, but I love the colors they used. This is called Super Bulky Hats by Ashley Kisser, and isn't that beautiful? And you see in this right here, the brim port, that's the rib stitch, and the top part of the beanie, see that's stockinette stitch. All right, let's show a few of the other pictures. But I especially love this color right here. See, and that's without a palm, with a palm. And I love palms, especially the fox fur ones like this one. I think those are so beautiful. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Hmm. People are liking the cable hats. And we have Lisa the Grammy that joined us. How are you doing today and what are you working on? Have you used number 6 weighted yarn before? If so, what have you made? And let us know if you like number 6 weighted yarn. All right. So now we're going to get into the paid for knitted beanies. I still have a good amount of patterns. Yeah, we've kind of gotten off topic more today than usual, but that's okay. I enjoy chatting with everybody. And I hope some of the things that I talked about, have helped y'all, or maybe y'all learned stuff on some different topics other than 6 weighted yarn. All right, so these are paid for knit patterns. And this is the Wicker Brim Beanie by Christelle Neves. And most of these names, a lot of them, I have a hard time pronouncing. But I love the look of this. I like how they did, the different stitching. It's like it gives it more of a textured type of look. I mean, so much you can do with the color combinations. Let's see. Ooh, I like these colors. Oops, sorry. But yeah, I think that stuff that is cool. All right, on to the next one. All right, I think that's a story beanie by B Knits Handmade, and I like how it has that kind of spiral textured look on it. And whenever I was doing my loom knitting, I made a beanie before that was kind of similar, but it was more kind of just like one row spiraling across it. And for those that don't know, I started with the yarn crafts, loom knitting, then I moved on to knitting, then I moved on to crochet. But now that like I've gotten into knitting and crochet, it's like I really haven't loom knitted. But yeah, I think that one's gorgeous. All right, moving on. This is called Granger. I think it's Toque by Jenny Noto, and I like the look of this stitch. And a lot of times I love seeing like the different color combinations used on patterns because it really does, like, sometimes it makes a pattern look completely different. So I find it's always interesting to see that. All right. Now we're getting into the free crochet beanie patterns. Okay. This is called Borley Set by Dana Hogan. And I love the look of this too. I like the gold one more than this one. But like I said, you'll see different. Ooh, I like this one. I like the solid color yarns more on this pattern. All right, so that's that one. Hi, hi Tyler. How are you today? And what are you working on? How's the fish been biting? And let's see. This is Misty Beanie by Rich Textures Crochet. And I want to say, I think that's a channel I'm subscribed to too. Um, because I know there's one that the name of it's the channel similar at least, but I think it's the same one. And I love the tutorials on that channel. because there's a lot of textured stitches. I, you know, and I love how textured stitches look. Right, let me see if they have it in some different colors. This is interesting. Even though I think overall this beanie looks better in a solid color, but I do think that yarn's cool. And I do find like certain patterns seem to look better. Like some look better in a solid color, and then you have certain ones that look better, like, with different colors. All right, let's see. Here's this one. Okay. Sometimes my mouse acts up. It sticks sometimes. All right. So moving on to the next one. All right. This is 1.5 hour chunky beanie by Crochet Dreams. And I like how this looks. And one thing I think is funny too, like, with like yarn crafts, like certain things, sometimes fancy stuff looks really good, but then there's certain times that something basic that's simple looks so classy. Let's see if yeah, there's more pictures. Here it is in a peachy color. Ooh, I like this gray. I like how it kind of like fades, like more like the ombre. And it may actually be an ombre yarn. Let's see. Here's a blue. Here's a gray. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Brenda's having trouble with her internet. Didn't you have trouble yesterday too? Oh, Zola saying she's enjoying the chat. Um, and like I said, there's times you never know what subject we're gonna get on live. Um, Lisa says making coffee. I went back to sleep. Never used 6 weight yarn. And Zola says that's a really interesting brim. Yeah, and one thing too, a lot of times I do tend to like finding stuff that's different. Not your typical every pattern that you always see. Yeah, y'all seem to be liking the patterns. Good, good, good. And Zola says she agrees your color of yarn does affect the outcome of your finished project. And that's one thing that like I find usually I do good when it comes to color choices with yarn. But unfortunately like that shawl that I was trying to do that was Bago Days, I didn't like how it was looking. But overall, I don't typically have that issue. Let's see. All right, let's get on to the next patterns. And these are crochet paid for patterns. All right, Brenda, I hope you have a fabulous day. Yeah, I'm running over today. Let's see. This is Plated Puff Beanie by Dana Hogan. I like that gold. That's nice. I also like yarns that shine. I like this one too a lot. All right. All right. Moving on. All right. This is Einkorn Beanie Bulky by Gail Holtkemp. Something like that. Well, that picture don't show it the best. Oh, I love that blue. That's gorgeous. And I love this color too, the pink. Oh, and here you have gold and like a reddish color. All right. And the next one. Hi, Chris and Marquita. How are y'all doing? And what are y'all working on? And let us know if you've used number 6 weighted yarn. And if you have, what have you made with it? Or and also I'm curious if you have used number 6 weighted yarn, do you like it? it I find more people tend not to like number 6 weighted yarn. And right now I'm sharing patterns using number 6 weighted yarn. All right. So this pattern is Stella Strawberry by Elise Crochet. And look at how pretty the stitching is on it. All right, let's see. Okay, and this is a paid for beanie pattern. I don't know if I mentioned it. And it's crochet. That's what the back of the hat looks like. Let's see. Yeah, it should have some other colors. I'm not as big on that the yellow. Here it is, like in a mint green. And like a light beigey type color. Oh, and here's a purple. Ooh, I like this color combination. I like these colors together. That's nice. All right, now we're going to get into some ear warmer patterns. And these are free knitted patterns. And this is the Chrysalis ear warmer by Nina Haggerty. And again, cables. I like both of these colors. Sorry about that. I had to cough. Okay, where was I? Okay. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain, and it's been like making me cough and stuff more. All right. This one is Fourth Day Ear Warmer by Emily Green Blue. And I like this one. I love the color. And here it is in gray. See, here's a picture of both of them. Let's see what else they have. Ooh, that's a nice color. Ooh, and here's a blue. Oh, and here's like an aqua color. All right. All right, this is Garibaldi by the Nitty Pine. And I really like ear warmers. Unfortunately, I don't have the best hair for it because the only way I can really wear ear warmers is if I pull my hair back. But if I leave my hair down, it my hair is too thin and fine. Okay. And here this one is in white and also a black one. Oh, and here's a blue. All right. Let's see. Let's see what everyone's saying. Let's see. Chris says, I enjoy the super bulky yarns. They make nice thick hats. And Chris currently isn't working with any yarn today because I've been doing a lot of outdoor plumbing work. Oh, I hope everything's okay with your plumbing. Yeah, earlier in the live, I was talking about our air conditioner issues, which luckily today it seems to be working fine now. Hopefully it stays that way because I do fear like if something's trying to go out on it. And let's see, we have Joni that joined us. How are you and what are you working on? And also let us know if you've ever used six-weighted yarn. If so, what have you made with it? And also, do you like using six-weighted yarn? And Marquita says, I have used a six yarn and it was pretty, but it seemed to be more of a roving. The beanies didn't stand up with time and wear. Aw. Oh, Laura Lee likes that I do the pattern searches also. And Laura Lee saying that one of the ones that I showed would make a good beginner cable project. And really, like I usually say, cables look intimidating and they look difficult, but they really aren't. And let's see, where else am I? Laura Lee says she don't have the face for them. Oh, I'm sure you do. We have Lillian that joined us. How are you today, Lillian? And what are you working on? And also, I'm curious if you've worked with number six weighted yarn. What have you made with it? Do you like six weighted yarn? All right. So now we're going to get into the paid for ear warmer patterns that are knitted. Let's see. And we have some, I still have some crochet ones, free and paid for, to share. And then I have some rug patterns. And then I'll be finished with the patterns and start wrapping things up. Let's see. Let's get there. This is Sweet Braided Ear Warmer by Vanessa Fong. And look at how nice. And one thing I like about ear warmers, I always like the braids, the cables, or the twist with them. Okay, there's no other pictures. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's get to the next one. This is called Plaid Bow Ear Warmer by Athena Forbes. And I felt like this one was cool. Um, most of y'all know I like plaid. I've designed a lot of patterns with a plaid look, but I thought this kind of was unique. Let's see. I don't know. I just kind of thought this one was different. Let's see if they have any other color combinations. Here it is with a black and white and like a grayish color. Mm. Here they did a lighter gray. There's this one. But I think that's a neat look, and like, the different color combinations you could use for that. All right. So the oops, hold up. Where was I? Okay. Okay, sorry. I had clicked the wrong thing. Right, so these are the free crochet ear warmer patterns. All right. This is called Chunky Ear Warmer by, I guess, Carrie Kiesler. And I really love this one. And I always love like the flowers um, and buttons on projects. And here it is, the opposite with pink and then the gray. But I think I like the Bambi and gray and the flower pink more. And let's see if they have some other combinations. It looks like most people left the flower off of it. Here it is in a blue and whitish. But this is one that I do find a solid color yarn does better. Like kind of like here. But this one they use sparkly yarn. And who else loves them some sparkly yarn? Let's see. Here it is. Black would be nice. With just playing around with some different colors. And here's some other fun combinations. All right, moving on. This is the Twisted Headband Ear Warmers by Little John's Yarn. You see, like this one has the twist to it. And let's see what other color combinations I can find. Oh, here it is in purple. And here's kind of a darker bluish color. Sorry about that. I'm starting to cough more. And I try to mute it whenever I have to cough. All right, this is Quinn Ear Warmer by Denny Sharp. And I love this blue. And again, I love the buttons. I have a thing for the button look. And let's see what other colors. There's this pinkish one. And this, oops. Okay. There's this one too. Now this one I really love. I like that color combination. All right. Let's see. We have Colleen that joined us. And I think yeah, I did greet Joni. Okay. I think it's just Colleen. How are you doing and what are you working on? And let me know about your experience or lack of experience with number 6 weighted yarn. And Joni saying, I like 6 for rugs. It's thick and plush, feels good on your feet. And really, I find that rugs and like blankets, Afghans, I find typically seems to be what people tend to do with it more often. And even like the pictures that were submitted, a lot of them were blankets and rugs. Um, and that's where like whenever I was share, found patterns to share, I was trying to find a good bit of stuff in like other categories. Um, let's see. Yeah, y'all seem to be liking the ear warmers. Zola says I like sporkly yarn, but it depends on the project. I would use it for a blanket. See, I like it like a lot on like shawls. And let's see. Marquita, which one makes the good pattern tutorials? Oh, Zola saying she meant that she wouldn't use it on a blanket. Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. Colleen says I am okay. Lack of experience. Laughing out loud. Yeah. Because I know like some people have never used it. Some people don't like it. And another thing I've heard a lot of, people getting the hand cramps. Okay, it's Little John. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, now we're getting into the paid for crochet ear warmer patterns. Okay, this one is called the, I guess, Eau Claire head wrap ear warmer by Silver Maple Stitches. And I love the texture on this one. Oh, I love how they did the fall leaves with this. I think that's a cute touch to the pictures. But I do find like with me, I gravitate towards number 4 weighted yarn. Um, Now with knitting, I tend to gravitate towards number 1 weighted yarn, especially with making shawls and socks. Well, I love this color combination. All right. Oh, here's one more. All right. So moving on. Let's see. All right, this is called Flower Ear Warmer by Craft Creek, and again, it has a flower. I love that look, and I love this color combination. And like certain colors, I just think look so good with black. Like pink is one, and like for instance, like chocolate brown, I find goes good with certain colors. Like usually pink, aqua, lavender. All right, let's see. This is called Chained Ear Warmer by Krista Cagle. And this one kind of has like a bow kind of like a bow tie look. And I so wish I had good hair for ear warmers. I love that blue. Let's see what else. I like the colors in this yarn, but I do feel like it kind of takes away from the head warmer. I mean the ear warmer. Oh, here's some pink. And here's like an aqua type color, or actually teal. All right. Now we're going to get into, well, this is just one pattern for the, this is a paid for rug pattern that's knit. Like I said, some some things I didn't find as many patterns that I thought were cute and stuff, or that spoke to me. Okay, this is Elephant Playmat by Sophia Minicase. And look how cute the elephant. I think that's so cute. All right. Now these patterns are going to be free crochet rug patterns. There's some really cute ones on these. All right. This is called Amy Cotton Striped Rug by Purot. And this, I mean, this one is pretty basic, but I love the colors on this one. And you could have a lot of fun with the color combinations. It looks like they did great. This is Granny Stitch. Oh, more kitties. All right. This is Gorgeous Mandela Floor Rug by Marinky Slump. And I think this is a nice rug pattern. And look, another kitty. And now we got a doggy. But this is one that I mean, you can do so many color combinations. And look, yet another kitty cat. All right. This is Anniversary Mandela by Julie Yeager. And yet again, this is one, so many different color combinations you can do. I just, and a lot of these are so colorful. Ooh, I love those colors. So, so pretty. All right. And now these are going to be the paid for rug patterns, and they're crochet patterns. And these are the ones that have a lot of really cute ones. And these are more children's blankets. I mean, not blankets, rugs. This is Cranky Crab Crochet Rug by Ara Rot. And look at how precious. And then it looks like here they did a pillow with it. So cute. I do think I prefer it with the bow tie. Oh, how they did right there. I like that touch. And here it is in orange. But isn't that cute? Okay. And this is Peanut, the hamster rug by Ararat. I'm thinking we might need to check her out. It looks like she has a lot of cute patterns. This is the second one from her. But look at how cute. And I don't know about y'all, but I have a thing for cutesy. Just too cute. All right. And the very, very last pattern for today. And this is one that I know I've seen people make this rug. I've probably seen the pictures in Facebook groups. But this is, I guess, um, Josefina and Jeffrey Elephant Rug by Ararat. Again, but I love this. It's cute, but it also has more of a pretty nature to it. How they got fancy on the ears, but I think this is just too cute. Here's a different. Ooh, I like the touch of the pink. But yeah, those are the patterns. And like I said earlier, all the links for these patterns are in the description box of today's live. And I have them broken up if they're crochet or knitted, and if it's free or paid for. So I hope some of y'all decide to make some of these patterns. And one thing too, if y'all ever make patterns that I share, I would love to know and I would love to see it too. And let's see, let's get back to the comments. Laura Lee says, I couldn't afford to make a big blanket in a 6 weight. It's a little pricey. And you do have a very good point because you don't get as many yards. So, how many skeins will you have to buy to make a blanket with? And that adds up in the price. And Zola's even saying, imagine how many balls you would need. But it should be warm, like she said. Joni says, I try to get the chunky yarn at the clearance sales. Of course, you're limited there on colors and amounts. Yeah, it's always nice when you can get stuff on clearance. And even like Zola saying, you can also buy thick yarn during the summer. Okay, y'all seem to have liked the rug patterns. Let's see. But yeah, like because sometimes like well when I select the patterns, I don't really pay attention to who designs it. So whenever I'm sharing them with y'all, like when I notice a name more than once, I'm like, ooh, she's one y'all might want to check out more of her patterns or his patterns. Let's see. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time, Marquita. Yeah, and on every Monday, I do more of an educational, informative live, and like we've been going through the weights of yarn, and next week will be number 7 weighted yarn. So if anyone has made number 7 weighted yarn, weighted use 7 weighted yarn and made any projects with it, send y'all pictures. I'm hoping I get at least a few pictures. But I get the impression not many people really have worked with number 7 weighted yarn. But but yeah, so that will be that. And then after that live, then we're gonna do a couple of fall makes lives. I plan to do 2, I think. Could possibly be end up being 3, depending on how many patterns I come across. And I've been finding a good bit, but I've also been sharing a few fall patterns on my Thursday and Saturday lives. So I usually share about 5 of them on those lives. But so then after that, we'll start getting into the yarn weights. Not yarn, the yarn fiber, sorry. And in between, you'll have times that I will get into like the other holidays. These like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Um, so we'll probably kind of flip back and forth with holidays and the yarn fibers. But I really hope that y'all learn some new things and um find some patterns that you want to make. Let's see. Colleen says that's what happens with my Mandela thick and quick that hangs over my window. It was going to be my daughter's blanket, but it was just too expensive. Yeah, that's what's unfortunate sometimes, or even like with hand dyed yarns. You know, if like say you need a thousand yards, and it's like usually the hand dyes are like $20, if not more, a skein or a hang and you know sometimes they only cut like or like around 200 yards, so that would be like 5 skanks, and you know that's over $100. Let's see. Colleen says Michaels did like a $5 clearance on their blanket yarn. That's why Brandon has a blanket. I guess a blanket yarn blanket. I guess you mean the thicker weight yarn. Colleen said she was on Top Chat again. Yeah, and that's one thing. Like, it's especially like live giveaways. When people like go down like the comments, like if you're number 16, you're the winner, and that's why most of us tend to say the winner is whatever shows up on our screen, because I'm seeing it from StreamYard, you know, where everyone watching is seeing it from YouTube. And then some people have it on Top Chat and some people have it on Live Chat. And the other thing too, if you have it on Top Chat, a lot of times you end up like behind on the live. So it's really best to have it on Live Chat. And let's see, Laura says she always forgets to change it. And it's so easy to do. And Colleen says it's becoming a habit she would like to break. And let's see, Zola says that's a great price for number 6 yarn. Brandon is lucky. I can imagine how warm his blanket is. Okay. It looks like there's a comment that a moderator needs to take care of. Let's see. Colleen says, I spin and dye so I can do my own. See, I wish like, I would spin and dye yarn and stuff. Hopefully one day at least I learn how to dye yarn. um, but these, like I said, the hand dyed yarns are not cheap. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous, but they're not cheap. Yep, Zola, that's the one I was referring to. Let's see. Colleen says my spinning wheel has paid for itself. Also, and Zola saying spinning your own yarn is really cool. It is. And Joni says I've been collecting just one or two skeins that I catch on clearance, and I've ended up after a couple of years with yarn that color coordinates together. Yeah, like when it comes to hand dyed yarn, well, I got some from the Hobby Lobby clearance where it was like three something. So that was a really good deal. And I think other than that, basically any of my hand dyed yarns, I got like I won from giveaways. But like I said, they're expensive. I agree, Colleen. It should be defaulted to live chat. And it's funny how like sometimes with defaults, it's not set to what you think it really should be. And Colleen says it's weighted without any other work. And Joni says yarn companies only rearrange the colors and give it a different name. Sometimes that is true. Alrighty. So I have gotten through the chat. I went like an hour over my normal time. We got chatting today. But yeah. So if anyone has any input or questions or anything like that to do with number six weighted yarn, um, let me know in the chat before we wrap things up. But yeah, or y'all thoughts or opinions, that type of thing. Joni says, "Oh, I'm going to get into spinning. I've been watching and learning before I invest, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy it." Yeah, a lot of people seem like they do enjoy it. I'm glad y'all had fun. All right, I hope you have a good day, Laura Lee. Yeah, and one thing too, sometimes like when you are on longer, it does give people more of a chance to jump in on the live. But typically I do usually an hour and a half, and then like if I'm running out of StreamYard hours for the month, then I'll cut back to an hour. Like say, or like sometimes when my back's acting up, I've cut back to an hour. But let's see. Tomorrow's gonna be Crochet Tuesday, and I have finished my shawl, and um I did start on a new project, which I will be telling y'all more about what happened with this. But I'm going to have to start over, so I will get started on it today. I don't know how far I'll get with it, but um but yeah, that's going on tomorrow. And let's see, what else do I want to tell y'all? Again, when it comes to pictures, submit y'all pictures. Next week, like I said, it's number 7 weighted, so I'm asking for those pictures. And then of course there's a finished project video. Um, so anytime y'all finish a project, send y'all pictures in so I can show them on that video. And I do that the 15th of every month. So, y'all can send pictures at any time. And also, y'all fall makes, if y'all can start sending pictures of those, because like I said, in 2 weeks I'm going to be doing lives about fall makes, and then the third Wednesday of September, we're going to be talking about it on the Southern Crocheters Live, which is going to be on Barbara's channel this month. And of course, my two giveaways are still going on. The pattern bundle, and then my August giveaway with some yarn and stitch markers. So if y'all haven't entered those giveaways, go enter them, or at least check them out. And also to let y'all know, yesterday I had to redraw for Katrina's giveaway, and I have heard from the new semifinalists. So I was like, I don't like having to redraw, and I feel bad for the person that initially gets wins type thing, and it's like I don't like having to redraw, but unfortunately it happens sometimes. Now on the plus side to that, it then gives everyone else another chance. But and like my biggest fear too is, you pick one and then you don't hear from them. You pick another one, you don't hear from them. And especially like when it's a collab giveaway, like on someone else's channel, because it takes longer, to be able to pick the either the winner or the grand prize winner type thing. Let's see. Yeah, everyone leaving already. I hope y'all have a good day. I won't be much longer. Okay, yeah. All right. And I feel like I'm forgetting to tell y'all something. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I do want to make sure y'all are aware of this. My Thursday lives are not now going to be at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I've pushed Thursday's live back an hour because of Frank's home health care schedule. So it's going to be at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Um, because I figure some people will get confused Thursday, um, where they're going to wonder where I'm at at 10:30. But yeah, it's now 11:30. So I think that's all I have for y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching today. I enjoyed interacting with y'all, and I want to welcome those that will be watching the replay. Leave a comment if you watch the replay. Also, if you have any comments or questions or anything like that to do with number 6 weighted yarn, feel free to put it in the comments. But yeah, I hope y'all all have a fabulous yarny day. Be the light, and bye.